Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pretty sure that we are familiar with a person named Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela is universally regarded as the best leader. That means if we take any other leaders, we might have different opinions. But when we talk about Nelson Mandela, we can all agree that this person is the greatest leader. Nelson Mandela once quoted that denying people their rights is denying their very own humanity. This powerful quote explained that when we violate other people's rights, we violate their humanity. So let's reflect this quote on ourselves. How many violations towards the human rights, how many violations towards humanity happen while we are alive? If we take a look at one small example of the violation of human rights, is what is the Chinese government doing to the Uyghur Muslims. These people are wrongfully captured and not only placed into concentration zones without their consent, no, they're also tortured and harassed. Even one woman who fled the concentration zone gave a tearful explanation. She announced that she would rather be dead than to be put back in the concentration zones back in China. Isn't this a disgusting violation towards the human rights? Another violation is the Black Lives Matter protest. We can see hundreds and thousands of people flooding the streets to not only fight for justice, but to fight for the future of their country, but to fight for their lives, and also to fight for their rights, and also to fight for their safety. But what do they get in return? They were dragged to death, they were beaten, they were permanently injured, and they were tear gassed. Isn't this a clear violation of human rights? If we take a step back at hundreds of years ago, we can clearly see slavery. Slavery was a very common thing towards the black people. Isn't this a violation towards the human rights? These loathsome actions are the reason why the Universal Declaration of Human Rights happened back in Paris, 1948. This declaration is mainly based on the principle that humans, that you and me, that all of us are born free and equal. That we have the right to equality, that we have the right to be free from torture, that we have the right to life, liberty, and personal security, that we have the right to be free from slavery. And I'm pretty sure that other contestants have scientifically explained the definition of human rights. So I'm not going to bore you and I'm going to keep it simple. Human rights is basically rights that we have simply because we are humans. The inspiration that human rights came from is back at thousands of years ago when Cyrus the Great conquered Babylon and freed all the slaves, and he also established racial equality. Isn't that our dream? And now we can understand that racial equality, that rights that have to be applied to every human is our dream. But I'm not only going to talk about that. What I'm really saying is that human rights itself would not stand only if the people who are cherishing it, only if the people who are protecting it are the people that are in United Nations. No, this is where we step in as students, as lecturers, as people who had the privilege to get education. We have to spread the consciousness of human rights. And not only that, we have to learn from it. We have to discuss about it. We have to argue about it. We have to engage ourselves in forums that talks about human rights so that we have the basic foundation to fight for human rights. And so I want us to be in the same page. I want you to declare yourself that you will fight for the rights of every man, woman, and children, regardless of their differences. Because we believe, because I believe, that we are all born free and equal. And I also believe that we should fight for the rights of every person in this country, of every human in this world, regardless of what their skin color is, regardless of what they believe in, regardless if you're black, white, or any color in between, regardless of what language you speak, regardless of what you came from, regardless of your race. I want us to work together to fight for human rights. And through only that, we can achieve something greater. And through only that, by uniting forces, we can shift towards a better world. And I want you to also believe that human rights belongs to us all. And to fight for it is what we are born to do. Ladies and gentlemen, let that be our goal.